You're going to need a small plastic or glass vial. I would recommend plastic as it is less likely to break. Some cardstock, some glue. I would suggest super glue, something that's going to be strong, a small paintbrush, a pencil, pen, tweezers, optional, but this is very handy when you're cutting up the clay into the proper size. Also optional is different colors of paints, blue and black and whatever you need. The only thing I would say is probably necessary is some red paint, or whatever color you're going to be painting the pills with. And of course, your necklace and a clasp if your necklace does not already have one on it. And a little ringlet for your jar. And if you want to add anything, like I added this little charm in here that was just had like a little cross on it that I painted red inside of the cross, sealed it with a bit of Mod Podge. Also optional is some Mod Podge for coating your cardstock. I used matte. You could use any version of Mod Podge or any kind of sealant really. Matte fixative. Also optional is charcoal or chalk pastels would be even better. I believe that's everything. Also polymer clay, that's part 2. I don't have it with me because I've already filmed and put it away, but that's gonna be handy because that's what you make the pills out of. So, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and I hope it helps you out. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the first step. I'm gonna take my polymer clay, which is Staedtler Fimo Effect. I usually use this brand, but it's a different type. This one's just very soft and easy to work with, so I'm using this one since we're doing something really simple. So I'm taking just a tiny bit here. I'm gonna go ahead and start working this with my hands. If you want, you can use one of those pasta machines that will soften it for you so you don't have to work it much. This clay's really soft, so I don't need to work it much, so I don't need to roll it out either, which I don't have a pasta maker, so I use a fondant rolling pin. It's a wooden little handheld pin, like one of those wall paint brushes. But as I said, very soft, don't need to do that. I've worked it a little bit, it's soft enough for me, so I'm just gonna go ahead and cut off a tiny little piece. And taking it on your hand, just roll it into a ball. And then flatten it while rolling it between your fingers like this so it gets to a oval pill shape. There we go. There's one. I'm not sure how many of these I'm gonna make. See, you can even make these smaller if you want to, depending on your bottle size, but I don't want them to be too small, so that's good enough for me. But I'm gonna go ahead and make these, and I will see you at the next step. Okay, so I made 20 of these little pills. They're super easy to make, so it's definitely a good beginner project. I forgot to mention beforehand that you do want to preheat your oven to whatever your clay specifies. Mine is 250 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm going to transfer these onto a aluminum sheet. I use aluminum because it does not, I find that it doesn't bend the clay like some pans might. But I'm going to go ahead and transfer the little pills over here. I would recommend making a few other clay projects, because you shouldn't heat your oven up just for something as tiny as this, but that is what I'm doing anyways, so I wouldn't worry too much about them being different sizes. As long as they all stay in a certain size range, they will blend together pretty well. So now I've got all these little clay pieces. You probably can't see that, but I'm going to stick these in the oven, again, for whatever your specified time is on your clay packaging. I believe mine's 10-15 minutes, so I will go do that, and I'll see you soon. Okay, so now while those are cooking, I'm taking my cardstock, about like that, and I'm just gonna cut a piece. I'm gonna see how long
what you say.
I'm trying again. Gonna see how long I need it to be. About right there. If you wanted to be a good person, you can measure it, but I'm not gonna do that.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
There's a tiny gap, but that's how I wanted it, so that's good. Okay, so now ready to do the label. I have here 2 vintage pill bottles that I got from my local thrift store. One's a Pented's Squib Penicillin G Potassium, which is used to treat all kinds of fun things like syphilis and gonorrhea, things like that. The whole shebang. Expired February 1961. So, no, it's vintage. It's from the late 50s. This one is as well. This was a, look at how cute that is. It's got a little pill. But anyways, this was a little cartridge for pain pills that were opiates that are no longer available due to heart failure caused by these. They were very easy to overdose on and stuff. They were Poville's Darwin compound thing, whatever it is. But yes.
Shut up and get to the point!
I have these here to draw inspiration from for my pill label, since I do kind of want this vintage medical looking. Okay, I've decided I'm going to put Gut Zeiten, which means good times in German, and then antipsychotics under it. So I'm going to write that out in pencil. Okay, so now that my little thingy label is done, I'm going to put some colors on it. I'm going to start by lining in the letters with pen. And if you mess up and put an E where an S goes, don't worry about it. I'm going to go with a tiny bit of this yellow and put it on the face. Some pink for the top. I'm also going to go with a tiny bit of blue and do some little dots right there. And then a solid stripe on either side. Okay, so I've got a tiny bit of charcoal here. This is optional, so I'm just going to run my brush against it. And I would use a mix of yellow and white, maybe some orange or red, and kind of just age it a little bit. Or even if you wanted to beforehand, age it with tea or coffee. And then after it is dry, I'm going to take a small spritz of workable fixative to seal in that charcoal. I've got some super glue here. Use hot glue, school glue, any kind of Mod Podge, anything of that sort. But I think super glue is going to work the best. So, figure out where I want it on here.
What you say? Oh, that you
More towards the top, so you can see the pills at the bottom better. Some on one side, just a tiny bit. Try not to put your fingers to the bottle, because that would be good.
Don't be an idiot.
I'm going to add some about halfway. Try to put it pretty tight, so it doesn't have any bends in it. So now I've got this on here. I went ahead and put some matte Mod Podge on. I decided I want it to look a little shinier. Even though it is matte Mod Podge, it gives it like this little sheen to it, and that's what I wanted on here to make it look like a sealed paper, kind of. Like, you know those magazine paper texture, kind of like that. So that's what it has done. It's a little wet in some places. I'm gonna let it dry. I'm gonna set that to the side now. And here we have
Pills here!
our little pills. And that's it. I'm gonna dump these into my little painting eraser. And now I'm going to take a small paintbrush. Oh gosh, things are falling. Okay, so I'm gonna take my red paint, or whatever color that you want to pick is good. So I'm gonna pick it up now with my tweezers. Hold it so that it's a little over halfway exposed and paint half of it red. And then I'm going to take the same glue from before. If you were not using super glue for the first step, I would definitely use it for this one, or to put the label on. That is the very first step, of course. If you really want to, hot glue is okay, but this is... So you want to make sure however you have the soup on here is gonna line up okay with your necklace. And there you go. I'm gonna go ahead and get out the necklace I'm gonna use with this and put it on there. And here it is on. You can see the little tag over here. This will be available for purchase on my Etsy, which I will link below, or my shared Etsy with my brother. So, if you're interested in purchasing this, please give it a look. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this tutorial has helped you. If you do decide to make this, do send a link to me on either my Facebook page, which is also linked below, or leave a comment below, do a video response, I don't know. Do something, I would love to see it, and I hope this tutorial has been good for you. Thank you for watching. Bye.